No matter the battle, no matter the fight, you go before me, you're my guiding light. Your love is
Good morning. I'm here again once more to talk about the things we were talking about. I want to take up where we left off because I want to be, accurate with this. I still want to talk about the nations and how they were pushed out because I have videos and news reels about it and I want to play them. They're still doing it to people out here, raising property taxes in Nashville and building homes that nobody lives in. They're not building affordable housing like they should and using the money in proper places. It's ridiculous. I know because every time somebody becomes homeless, they come meet me and I take them in with open arms, even though I have a home. I have an open door policy for me because I have a human harm. I do movie night with them and I do all kinds of stuff. I make sure that they're fed. I do my art so that I can speak to them on the road. That's the main reason I do it. I'll sit there all day sick of it. It's my peace. Understanding doesn't have to be a gift. I want to talk about some of the things they did for us. Councilman Rosenberg called the Reclaim Brooksmead a hate group because they were. We were fooled. We were fooled into believing we were going to be safe. I'm not ungrateful. My apartment is wonderful. I live in a great neighborhood, but I got to pick it. And the lady that runs this place, Miss Joanna, is a beautiful, beautiful person with a heart of gold who loves everybody. And she does a lot. Couldn't ask for a better person to have in my life. The apartments are great. They're not bad. But my husband can't stay with me because it's in the lease that I can't have anybody with a crime. They knew what they were doing. I'm just going to go there. I'm separated from my husband because of them. They lied to me. And a lot of them lied to me. I don't have any hair under here, guys, so I'm kind of irritating. It's yeah. It gets really, really, really itchy, you see? It's like really patchy, splatchy. So if I move my head, it's because of that. But when we were in the Greenway, the reason we were dirty is because we had one dumpster. I'm going to tell you the truth about it. One dumpster. And you know what happened? These hate mongers would come and put their trash from their houses and fill it up until we had no room. We got video of it. I've proven everything I've said so far, so let's get into this. Today we're going to talk about what they did to the nation, still continued. And we're going to talk about our councilman who agreed that it was wrong for them to come in and look at us like zoos. Thank you, Councilman Rosenberg. You gave us our respect. And I agree with the way you treated us because we didn't want to leave. We weren't in a hurry to get out of there. It was them. How are you going to leave us there for all those years and then all of a sudden want us out? That was wrong. We had bad people in our camps because they were disbanding the other ones. And the other ones were coming to here. They were stealing from Walmart. They were doing things that we didn't do. There was a time, like I said, you couldn't even tell we were there. And if anybody that's watching this ever wants to sit down with me, if they had a family member in there and they want to know what happened, just sit with me, I'll tell you. That's how much I love them. They called me Mama Bear Biscuit. At the end of all of this, though, Nashville, I am going to show you what happened to the good people that got out. Because you deserve it. But Nashville did this, not y'all. Nashville. Thank you. Thank you. Now we're going to get into this because I am sick and I don't want to be on this. But I do want to tell this story. Because it needs to be done for once. Half the people in my camp were from nations. I found it funny when I wanted to do that mural and petition for it to help them out, to make them feel better about what happened, at least give them something back. I was going to do a mural. I was petitioning to get it, and I didn't get it yet because I couldn't do it. And I'm going to tell you why. None of them, and I mean none of them, will talk to me about it. It's like they're afraid. When I started watching the news about it, I learned why. And my guess in the last video was just a guess. But if I'm wrong, nation's family, I will correct myself if you come to me and talk to me. I didn't do the mural because I can't do a mural on your lives and give it justice without knowing about your lives. And I understand the pride because I'm from the Bronx, I know. Your neighborhood's your neighborhood, and your neighborhood's a life until death. It don't matter what kind of people you guys were, whether y'all were in a crowd, that y'all were still a family. And if anybody conceptually can tell you, I know what it means to have a family of non-blood related people. People that I never knew in my life could be family more than my real family. You don't have to have my blood type to be my family. You just have to know how to love. So this is for me to explain to why they want me to move. So they want me to see nothing. All the stuff that they know that I will speak on, I'm doing right now, is stuff they didn't want me to see. Because they didn't want to look bad. They kicked us out of there, yes, we had to go. And we're grateful that we have our apartments, the ones that did make it. The ones that didn't die, they didn't even know me better. Chief killed himself, and his shooting is on YouTube if anybody wants to see it. And we don't blame the police, to be honest with you guys. You were attacked. I don't know the officer that was the one that did it, and I'm sorry his family lost him. But they lied to your dad. They told him that he could stay back there. The man lived back there for 17 years. Imagine he had to go back into society. Jeremy ended up in jail, and Chad ended up dead because they'd never been out of there. We can go into this for days, but we're going to get into these videos. Let's go see what I got to say. And I also am going to talk about a few people I love today, Colbys Army, and what this hate group did to them, and a permit just to give a bottle of water. Yeah, I got y'all.
New taxes!
Nashvillians have been property taxed to death.
The median home in Davidson County is now 45% more valuable than it was when it was last appraised. This will mean increased cost even if city leaders drop the overall property tax rate lower than what it was in the 70s.
Building schools, patching potholes, picking up trash, and keeping people safe are all more expensive.
Still, not everyone is convinced that the city is spending responsibly.
This is a never-ending problem for the city because the mayor and the city council do not know how to control their spending.
We are not the ATM. If it's going to go up 30% and you had it go up 34% just 3.5 years ago, that's 64% that your property taxes have gone up in less than 5 years.
A proposed plan could bring changes to one of Nashville's fastest growing neighborhoods. The nation's neighborhood plan would overhaul current zoning rules, and some people say they worry that could open the door to commercial developers. So our Lauren Lowry joins us now. Lauren, with their frustrations.
Right. So the proposed plan says the goals are to increase affordability of places to live and then also provide a variety of housing options in the nations. But people don't agree, and they say they never even knew about the proposal until mandatory rezoning notices were sent in the mail. And the plan, however, has been in the works for months, according to Metro paperwork. It was proposed by the council member that represents the area, Roland Horton. It would rezone over 300 acres and then allow for 40-unit apartment buildings per acre in the nations. And last night, a meeting happened for people to voice their concerns and ask questions. A woman we spoke with has lived in that area for over 20 years. She says other things need to be addressed before building anything else, especially since that area is so busy.
We have so many cars here now that on either side of the street, people park on the street. There's no way, I don't even think an emergency vehicle could get down the street. Can we work together to keep the neighborhood charming, historic, friendly, full of fabulous people without packing people in?
Yeah, so at this point, neighbors are asking Councilmember Horton to defer the plan to give them some time to come together and talk about what the nation's really needs. Metro Council will go over that plan at its next meeting. We'll be following along and update you on their decision, Lydia.
All right. Feeling like we've done everything that...
Ms. Ellis, sit down and be quiet, please, ma'am. No, hey, no, we are not doing this right now. Okay? I would like you to please sit down, ma'am. I am judge and jury up here, as a matter of fact. Okay? Ms. Ellis, please sit down and be quiet.
To the families in the homes of the nations, I'm sorry that happened to you. Miss Biscuit is going to try to help you get heard as much as I can if I have to speak about it till the day I die. Now I want to go to Cinnamon Councilman Rosenberg, who stood up for us when we were being accused of doing all these things in the Greenway. He said that we were not a zoo and that we did not need to be looked at like animals. And we were glad that he didn't put us first on the list because we didn't want to leave our home. We were afraid of them. Let's get into that
This
video.
is what Brookmead Park in West Nashville looks like. It's littered with trash and a homeless camp lines the Greenway. The community group Reclaim Brookmead has been putting pressure on city leaders to help them change this.
Mayor John Cooper announcing he wants to spend millions to address homelessness citywide. Reclaim Brookmead is hopeful the funding can help the folks living in their neighborhood park. But Councilmember Dave Rosenberg, who represents the district where the park is, says he doesn't think it should get priority in the new funding plan.
Brookmead Park is no more special than any other encampment in the city. It's a citywide issue, and I hope that Brookmead is not put in front of the others just because there are some loud people screaming about it.
Have you been inside Brookmead Park and seen the encampments?
No, I mean, going on tours there like they're a tourist attraction is disrespectful and hateful. Real work is done by addressing homelessness and trying to make places for these folks to go and make sure they get the services they need.
I know some other council members have gone and visited, and it's your district. Don't you think it would be helpful for you to see the issue firsthand?
I'm very aware of what the issues are, and I can see it without going around and touring like it's a zoo.
But members of Reclaim Brookmead Park disagree. They've called on Rosenberg to tour the park multiple times.
We're not looking at individuals in Brookmead Park. We're trying to assist individuals in Brookmead Park. And if he was interested in assisting them and getting them housed, he would be down there and he would know that there's Michael, who has been here, who's had cornea transplants, that was blind and now he can see. He would know that there was a prostitute in there who went through Thistle Farms, who is now out and is so healthy and happy.
Rosenberg says he doesn't support Reclaim Brookmead.
They are a hate group that doesn't represent the vast majority in the public, and even though they try to use compassionate language from time to time, their hatred for homeless people and desire to see the problem pushed out of their sight so they can forget about it again is evident. One of their supporters even suggested to me that we line them up and shoot them is not the way to go at this.
But Reclaim Brookmead says their goal is not to move people from one park to another.
We have no idea what he's talking about. If you go on our Facebook page, our mission is very clear. We want to help the individuals in that park get housed.
The mayor's plan to address homelessness does not specifically name or prioritize certain encampments.
Council members will consider the new homeless plan at their first meeting in October. Rosenberg says he has some questions he needs answered before he decides whether he'll vote in favor of it. Reporting in studio, I'm Jackie Del Pilar with Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Basically, I'm sorry guys, I'm in bed, I don't feel good. But I want to get this part out because these people, the next part, they're my family. They're angels. They're God's soldiers. For those who don't know colbys Army, if they're not involved with it, Miss Lisa lost her son for fentanyl, he was in the homeless camps. She created this foundation for the homeless. She would go down there and it gave her peace to help other people to save her son's memory. She named it colbys Army. And what they do is every Tuesday they would come out and they give dog food, clothes, a hot meal, sweets, and a good conversation to let the people know that they still had people that loved them. Recently, the same group of people noticed the video. Who there's in it attacked them for giving out a bottle of water because they didn't like the outcome of what happened to us. They get us out of the park and they didn't get our park fast enough, so they got mad. They got bored and they wanted to come after us again. No, instead they went after an older lady who works for the colbys Army, who's volunteered and has a nice heart, and scared her to death. They followed her into a restaurant, taking pictures after pictures after pictures. And then they posted those pictures on Reclaim Brooksmead and blocked them so they couldn't read what they wrote. That woman almost retired early from a nonprofit because she was afraid. How dare you? You people from the Brooksmead Reclaim, y'all don't even know how to love anybody. And Rebecca, stop trying to pretend like you're our friend because you're not. All you did was break up a family that loved each other. Put us in a flea bag hotel program that starved us. And then they moved us into apartments that were not livable. I got lucky. Bria didn't get so lucky. She was moved into a crappy apartment by an airport, by drug dealers. Jeremy's in jail, same place. Brad, Johnny Rotten, Justin, we're living in a drug house. Alan, drug house. You have no idea. I got blessed. This was the one thing that I can say that the city of Nashville did for me, was put me in a home where I didn't have to be afraid. Thank you. But I want to play these clips about how they harassed these people that are angels. Because y'all are.
Do you think that a permit is going to help solve some of these issues?
Tonight, the high cost of homelessness. After a week-long battle with Metro, Colby's Army can now resume food and water giveaways to the homeless at Richland Park in West Nashville. Metro Park Police confronted some volunteers last week demanding they get a permit after some people who live near the park complained about the crowds. Fox 17 News' Kylie Walker now live in West Nashville with more on both sides of this debate.
That's right, Scott. As you kind of just mentioned, Metro Parks Police did tell Colby's Army just last week they now need a permit for their outreach services at Richland Park for the homeless. The head of the nonprofit says this sets a whole new precedent, says then they will now need to get permits for all other Metro parks. Nashville is dealing with a homeless crisis. Images like this seen all over the city, including Richland Park. Now volunteers from Colby's Army can again pass out food, water, and other resources, but only on Tuesdays from 1 to 3. But Lisa Wysocki with the nonprofit says that's not the only restriction. Volunteers must now secure permits for other city parks.
So we're still going to be there, but we might be across the street. We might be down the road. We won't be in the park until we can kind of get this figured out.
On the Metro Parks website, where it lists who must maintain a permit, the department says outreach services now fall under special events, which surprised Wysocki, who says she's never needed a permit in over a decade of outreach work.
These people have no hope. I mean, life has just really kicked them down the stairs, and they just don't have a way to pick themselves back up. So that's what street outreach is.
But some neighbors near Richland Park argued there's a time and place for street outreach.
Nobody that I know is against feeding anybody that's hungry or providing water to somebody who may be thirsty. It's about doing it in the appropriate places.
Community advocate Tim Tomes brought his concerns to Metro Parks after crowds gathered near the park playground.
There was smoking and drinking going on, and it's so close to the park that I'm not comfortable with my grandkids.
We took those concerns to Wysocki. Do you feel your outreach is enabling this behavior?
Oh, absolutely not. No, we talk to people about harm reduction. We talk to them about going to rehab. We talk to them about staying in programs.
As for Tomes,
it's just about accountability.
He believes the permit will allow a more structured process where he now knows the hours to avoid the park. He also thinks this will hold organizations accountable when things are left behind. Now remember, in the meeting this past week, Parks Board did only approve the one permit for Richland Park. As for the other parks, how this process will work, things are still unclear. Now, Wysocki did tell me that she did speak with city leaders earlier today, and they said they're still kind of working out the logistics and how that's going to work moving forward. So, of course, we'll continue to stay on that. For now, reporting in West Nashville, Kylie Walker, Fox 17 News, your Coderhead station.
We were threatened with a $1,500 fine should we continue to provide services.
We begin tonight with the high cost of homelessness and complaints from a local advocacy group that Metro Police demanded to see a permit when they were out in the heat giving bottles of water to the homeless. Fox 17 News' Kylie Walker joins us live now from Richland Park in West Nashville, where members of Colby's Army say this happened.
Colby's Army has been handing out supplies to the homeless for more than a decade now, and they tell me they've never been asked for a permit. The group, though, now faces criticism from West Nashville residents who say that the outreach brings trash and crowds. Since 2010, Colby's Army has made it their mission to service those living on the street. Volunteers handed out food, water, and toiletries this week at Richland Park, offering relief to those battling the heat.
If we can't do that, we're going to have some really ill people, and we may have some deaths.
Lisa Wysocki with Colby's Army was shocked when Metro Parks police asked if they had a permit.
We want to be in compliance, but we didn't know that a permit was necessary. We reached out to about 8 or 9 other outreach providers. They didn't know that a permit was needed. They don't have a permit.
Metro Parks says while they support outreach, they also consider families and children who use the park, citing numerous complaints from neighbors.
I'm actually kind of surprised that they haven't had to do this already.
Community advocate Rebecca Lowe says the nonprofit should be held to the same standard that vendors are held to.
They should be held to the same standard a food truck would be held to if they operated in one of our parks.
Lowe says requiring a permit also helps with accountability when large crowds come in and leave trash behind.
I think the concern for us has always been that they delivered literally tons, thousands and thousands of pounds of items, but they were never held accountable for retrieving those items when they were abandoned or used up.
But since a permit could take days or weeks to obtain, Wysocki wants a quicker and clearer process. She says the Metro Parks website lacks a specific category for outreach permits.
There's not a permit that's really applicable to street outreach.
Since it was unclear, we asked Metro Parks where this falls, and they say the special events category. Now, Wysocki tells me she does not believe that their outreach should be considered a special event, as this is a daily concerted effort to get people housed and serviced. Now, the park board will meet next week to discuss the Richland Park permit. For now, reporting in West Nashville, Kylie Walker, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Kylie, thank you very much. This is obviously a talker generating some conversation here in the studio. We would like to know what you think. Should volunteer groups like Colby's Army, handing out water and working to help save the homeless, be forced to get a permit? So far, 178 people have weighed in, and they don't think much of the permit idea. 88% disagree. A little over 11% say we think it's a good idea. The poll's live right now. We'd like to know what you think. Just scan the QR code on the right-hand side of your screen. It will take you to our X page at Fox Nashville, and we will update the results coming up tonight on Fox 17 News at 9.
Look, it is hot out here today, and it was hot last week. Groups like Colby's Army are here helping give cold water and other essentials to folks experiencing homelessness out in this kind of weather. And that is why they say they were surprised when last week the city told them they could no longer do this at a local park. Jess Wilson with Colby's Army knows her way around.
We've got a basket of women's clothes, a basket of men's clothes. We've got toiletries. We've got some books, hats, sunglasses.
Her group helps people experiencing homelessness, especially with access to water. It's often a team effort.
Hi, lady. Y'all are all matching today.
So she says she was surprised last week while at Richland Park handing out water and a bite to eat.
There was a parks officer and a Metro officer that was there waiting, and just asked what we were doing, asked if we had a permit to be passing out food.
Metro Parks told us Tuesday they'd received complaints from neighbors about Colby's Army handing out food and water, and that a permit would help neighbors know when they'd be there.
And we need access every single day to multiple different parks because we serve people in multiple different parks. So we were all flustered, you know, but that's not going to stop us. We're going to meet them where they're at. meet them where they're at, whether it be Metro Park or off-site.
So for now, off-site, away from Richland Park, it is.
We're going to go up here and gather our ones that's in the library, and we'll meet y'all across the street, okay?
We followed up with Colby's Army, who told us they're now in talks with Metro Parks to get a free permit to continue their work as they wait on word of when the full Metro Parks board will be able to take up that proposal. Jason Lamb, News Channel 5.
Mama, you've helped me out a lot. You comforted me. You told me that I needed to get help, get off the streets, do what I needed to do to better myself. And, if it wasn't for you at times, I probably wouldn't be here, And I appreciate everything you've done for me. And I'll be there for you 100% all the way.
So my name's Brianna, and I met the amazing Miss Biscuit one day while I was in Walmart at Charlotte Pike, and I was feeling down and I was feeling sad, and she caught me in Walmart one day, and I was wiping my makeup off because I had been crying, and she called me on my bluff when I had said that I was okay, even though I wasn't. And it was definitely meant to be, because little did she know I had a dream about selling my artwork and being an artist, and that's why I'd come to Nashville. And it was just awesome because Biscuit gave me my inspiration back. She made me want to use my artistic talent and make talent again. And I just have enjoyed so much just hanging out with Biz and us goofing off and joking together and just having fun and just talking about any and everything. And it's been a healing process. It's been very therapeutic for me, and it's just made me really realize my worth as a person, as an artist, even being somebody that knows what it's like to be on the streets and just to feel heard, to feel seen, to feel important, and my art matters to people. That really meant so much to me, and just I couldn't ask for more. She's out here, Biz is out here giving people their hope back and their self-worth back, and just I got mad love for this lady, and what she does is just awesome. She's an amazing artist, she's an amazing person, and I'm so glad we met.
I was seeing her art every day and really being inspired by it, with how she always had an expression of how the day was, or something happened, or she had a lot of requests and everything. So I started kind of just doing a little drawing, scribbling and everything, and it helped to keep my mind off of maybe the depression, or keep my mind calm and bring me peace. And she was so encouraging and gave me pointers and advice, and said maybe if I get to where I'd be comfortable, she said she'd sell some of mine, which probably wouldn't have sold because next to hers it's not possible. But she was so supportive that she actually brought me my own art set that was in a briefcase type thing. It was so nice, so just organized. We keep it all together. I could fit it in my backpack, carry it around, and she checked back with me. And just about every day, I'd be like, okay, so let me see what you got. And she gave me a little homework. And the one I remember that still to this day, it just looks wonky when I try, is an eye. And with all the details and just the different angles, everything, and mine still look terrible, but she always was there to encourage me and help me with things like that. It will always be with me, because now I realize I'm not really good at drawing, so I do the adult color look. Like, that's as close as I can get to all the work that she does and all the support she gives everybody is always amazing. She was like Mama Bear, a Mama Bear art teacher to all of us. I love y'all. So I love you, Biscuit, for everything, and you're amazing. Yesterday on my podcast, and she's not actually with me, but she recorded a message for us, the world can hear above. I don't know, I'm going to find out. So I'm going to play them and record them now. So here goes, Miss Jessica Wilson. So, my first memories of Miss Biscuit. It was such a fun story, and it was, first time I ever saw her was probably December of 2020.
You can never remember dates.
No, what is it? How'd you leave this out? 2021, December 2021. It was the first time I met her. It was just very brief. But I remembered the face, I remembered her name, and when I started regularly coming out on Tuesdays, July of 2022, that was when we really started to get to know each other better. And I just always knew her as like the artist. She was the eclectic, fancy, bohemian artist, veteran mama figure of the whole family. And always so sweet, always so stylish. I loved the stylish, but it was always like if Biscuit had been somebody, you know where she had been, it was because it was just joy and love, and could just draw and do and think of whatever you wanted to draw and do on the spot. And one of the amazing things is draw up things that maybe she could kind of see coming, but doesn't even realize she was drawing. So more on that in the next message. Okay, here comes the next one's loading, guys. Yeah, my computer's. And she said her frogs were loud and she recorded, so. That's okay. We don't mind frogs. We love the frogs. We actually listen to them every night, guys. We find it hard to actually, believe it or not, Jessica, live without the sound to the outside world. So recently I bought them all like noisemakers with the different critics and stuff. You find that funny because they love it. And it helps them to go to bed. Benjamin especially. Okay, here's the second part, guys. I think I had been coming out for babies about 3 months or so to work months. And that's the homeless camp. Biscuit was sitting on the corner and she had her all of her paintings out and she was working on something, and as soon as I saw I had to stop for a second because what she was drawing was my tattoo. And so we're doing a regular Tuesday thing, but I made sure that I said, hey, you're absolutely drawing out for me. We'll talk about it later. So, later on that morning I was able to, when she finished the painting, I was able to show her my tattoo. And she basically drew the central part of my tattoo. She really turned out to be a really good friend of mine. She works for Colbys Army, which is a place that delivers and distributes food, clothing, shoes, socks, whatever you can give to a homeless, community, because there's a lot of homeless out here. And the reason I think I stayed in Nashville so long is because of them, because they have become part of me, and my heart goes out to them. And so, Miss Lisa, those were just 4 of the people that I had to survive for.
Recently, a friend of mine named Josh came to see me. And I'm going to end this with you, Josh. He's a person of kindness. He came and brought me food cards for these people every day he could. And I'm not talking just $15 a card. I'm talking he put 20 on there for them. And it was a blessing for me to go down and give every single one of them a card to go eat at Burger King or somewhere, just because we never have money. For Christmas, he would do the same thing. And when I got sick, this man took care of me. He would give me $200 every week just to do it. Just so I could have money still to give to them, because he knew I couldn't go out. Don't take me away from where I do my art. This is why I'm asking. I love to help these people. I talk to them whether they like it or not. I get in their faces. Joey was hit by a vehicle. He not only got hit by a vehicle, he was hit by a truck. Flew through the window, hit out the back of the truck, hit out the back of the bounced out of the bed and hit into a car in the back and went through another windshield. He's barely survived. But he did. He was hit by somebody that didn't like us. That happens all the time. I didn't find out until after he was in ICU. And he told me the only thing he thought about while he was in there was me. Telling him always to keep an eye on the traffic when he walks, pay attention to what he wears on the streets, because they can hit him if he's in black. He didn't listen to me. And he got hit by a car because the people that hate us hate us. It's real. The girl that was talking, Brianna, she was trafficked. That was harsh. She ended up getting pregnant and keeping it and giving it to somebody who needed a baby. Brave woman. Miss, the lady that in the middle, the one that was talking about me being Mama Bear Biscuit, everybody knows Liz. She's a success story, but I didn't know that she was one of mine. I didn't know I had that much of an impact on her. But I did. And I made the best friends with Jessica Wilson, Lisa Wasowski, Miss Bev, Mr. Cantrell. All these people mean a lot to me in Nashville. They kept me alive, and I kept the others alive. Next one, we're going to talk about a manager that I love and I read it in the store. A person I need to talk about. Till the next one, guys, be nice and kind, and think about letting me stay at my art stand. Not for me, for them. Thank you for listening.